go well and blend together in terms of rows and columns. They're both pretty out of the way in terms of. Are they starting already? It looks like they're starting. Don't know if I can be heard either. So let me take a look, actually. So they're getting ready, starting off in Series Station.
BackForJustice making a small mistake, not realizing he was on the right file, or she. I don't 100% know the sexes of both racers. But making a small mistake there out of the gate, giving WhiteMageBecky a chance to start pulling away through Saris. Just a small one, not a big one.
And it looks like WhiteMageBecky will be taking top left to bottom right, which was exactly what you had pointed out. Oops. Meanwhile, BackForJustice was assigned column 3 for reserve tanks, which is extremely out of the way to collect every single 4 in each region, and then defeat Crocomire, skip high jump boots, collect all 10 wreck ship supers, 5 energy tanks, and screw attack. So that right there, this card in total is just not easy, but I mean, I wonder exactly what each of them can do. I know WhiteMageBecky has said that she likes to just focus on exactly what she's been assigned, and then just either one column that she thinks is best, or in this case, yeah, I guess it's up to her what she wants to take.
From a personal point of view, where she's been assigned top left to bottom right, one of the two easiest ways to go about this is you could shoot up and do column 5. The only risk is you have to get all those power bombs. The other thing you could do is go straight across and do row 5. Again, the only major detractor is she will not have charge beam all the way through. But she might as well do that one because she'll have enough super missiles where she could backdoor to Golden Torizo and make that her last stop.
Plus, there's not really any bosses that she will really have to face. The only one being just fighting Fantoon if Becky is confident enough to go, yeah, pretty much new route, and only taking that out because no, she'd have to fight Fantoon and Dragon, obviously, to gain access into Plasma Beam.
Not much of a backtrack, but if you're killing Dragon, you might as well take that as a free gimme. Thus, again, you can still backdoor your way through and get through everything to get to Lower Norfair to get to Screw Attack easier. At the moment, both racers are pretty much neck and neck. At the moment, WhiteMageBecky is just slightly in the lead, getting into Morph Ball. Both of us suffered a couple pit drops going through old Mullibrand's room. Again, not too much to decide right away. The real deciding factor will come in when the cards start getting collected.
Thank you for the follow as well for BackForJustice. I mean, to be completely honest, they're really going at it. They gave each other some pretty. I mean, the card already was not easy, but these happen to be like the most difficult rows of them all.
This is definitely going to end up being a very interesting matchup. BackForJustice getting into the missiles first. WhiteMageBecky lagged behind just a touch. But now she's on the way out. BackForJustice is now up the shaft. And Becky is on her way up the elevator herself. so far, once again, folks, both races, both nearly neck and neck. Back for Justice having a very, so far, clean climb up the shaft here so far. Hopefully, WhiteMageBecky can follow up. She just killed all the creatures to open up the doors, and now she's heading back down. Might be going to get the extra missiles. Don't know just yet. Meanwhile, Back for Justice is swimmingly going along, making their way to Bomb Torizo.
Becky most likely going back for the missiles and for the E-tanks simply because she's been assigned 7 energy tanks, and 70 missiles. So right then and there from the get-go, it's pretty easy to access.
Very nice damage boost by Becky using the lettuce leaf to boost into the energy tank. Meanwhile, Back for Justice is now starting the Bomb Torizo fight, and Becky picks up the other missile pack.
Usually a strat that you don't get to see in much categories. I think RBO might be one of them, where you get to see them collect that E-tank. But typically, if you're just a casual player, you would have to do that in a speedrunner difficulty for to collect whatever item. There's sometimes a morph ball up there. So now that Back for Justice is heading down the Terminator room, heading over to Brinstar, Becky's climbing up on her way, having a little difficulty there, but it's fine. I mean, who doesn't struggle at the climb?
Back for Justice busting their way through that room there, now heading down into Green Brinstar to start the real collectathon / determination of where they're going to go next. WhiteMageBecky finally got out of the shaft and is now on her way to Bomb Torizo. Back for Justice first attempt gets the mock ball through the speed bridge. Will now head over and get supers. Meanwhile, WhiteMageBecky is now starting the fight against Bomb Torizo. Back for Justice now has a lot of options open with this first super missile package.
Their routing is definitely gonna have to be pretty much grade A in order to complete this the fastest. Like, still thinking about it, I'm trying to wonder exactly what each of them can do. I mean,
it does leave a lot to imagine there, Cephalon, especially with the fact that routing is often determined how many people have won and lost in this tournament so far. Great example, last match that we had, it came down to really bad routing in the end that really made the difference between the two players. Now, Becky has just gotten done, has the bombs and saving, could be attempting a very risky attempt at the gauntlet. This would give her another energy tank in case she decides to do a hell run, and it would give her 2 more missile packages, adding up to a total of 20. And it looks like, yes, indeed, she's going to attempt the climb and does it, gets into gauntlet. And now, Back for Justice is getting charge.
if Becky, because Becky has been issued to either the various suit or the gravity suit, it makes me wonder if she really might be up for hell runs in the long run, only because in the long hell runs, I guess, simply because she does have to be able to access the Meridian. No, excuse me. What can she go for? She has to defeat Dragon. And from what I remember, she does not have the fondest memories trying to pretty much trying to best Dragon suitless.
Dragon suitless can add up, and especially in like most cases, if you're doing like a randomizer run, if Dragon does not give you what you need, you're in a lot of trouble down there. But the best bet here for WhiteMageBecky is, from what I can see, she's building up her energy tanks for a reason. Meanwhile, BackForJustice is heading over to Red Tower to get power bombs, taking a quick refill. But back to Becky real quick. Her attempt here, getting all the energy that she can get, is probably purposeful because she wants to use it for the Hell Run. Noticing that people have had problems with the Hell Run, is probably going to take advantage of that and is planning her route just so. Not to mention, she already has to get the 7 energy tanks. Why not knock them off the list as soon as you can?
Also important to note, since BackForJustice did end up going up Red Tower, she might opt to go for Fantoon first, which is also, a risky move early on. That was actually a good decision on Becky's end to go to Gauntlet, because that's a free tank, and then two missile packs.
BackForJustice taking the save after getting the power bomb, so it's most definite that she could be heading over to fight Fantoon, provided she can do a continuous wall jump. We will see what happens there in a moment. Now, WhiteMageBecky has 2 energy tanks, managed to survive Gauntlet, coming out with a total of 86 energy. Gets another free energy tank because of her good planning. Now has 3 of the 7 energy tanks she needs to get. So she's already making a big dent in her card as it stands. Here comes BackForJustice for the attempt. Got the super missile, might be short this time, might have to do a reattempt. WhiteMageBecky on the other hand is now heading into Brinstar, where her real collectathon will start, and especially where she can get ahead. Alright, BackForJustice doing a little bit of farming there to help get herself back up on her feet. WhiteMageBecky gets her supers. BackForJustice falling into Missile Lake yet again. WhiteMageBecky is now collecting more missiles. And just shy of getting it off, BackForJustice falls in the lake on the other side. This is going to add up real fast. This is worse than a hell run.
It's very important to when deciding to go for CWJ, continues to wall jump, it's take into account also that you could potentially end up losing a lot of time. There's a lot of risky strats in terms of trying to save time or losing time, and this happens to be one of them, because it is the first jump is a frame perfect jump, and then for the actual wall jump itself, the CWJ itself, is a window of 2 frames. It's it might sound easy, simply just trying to tap jump and jump, and BFJ landing it, as I say it, but as you can see, it did take her a little bit of time just trying to jump across Missile Lake. Is that the official name for it?
That is the official name for it. Very nice job doing it, though. But again, you have to wonder if all those seconds spent doing it is really worth it in the end. We will find out soon enough. But as we can see, BackForJustice is now in wreck ship heading that way. Meanwhile, WhiteMageBecky rather, is going to attempt to do the Spo skip.
Gets it there
And
to
got
collect
it.
her super missiles. And here we go, BFJ entering Fantoon.
BackForJustice has to be very careful here, because Fantoon is another quote-unquote run killer when you have very low life. Even though she does have the reserve, she will have to be very careful to not get herself caught by a sunrise surprise.
BFJ dipping into her reserves, trying to get a little bit of energy to make sure that she doesn't die. Again, this is a very risky move on her end. Typically only new route players go for this, and she's handling herself quite well. She's almost done. Meanwhile, Becky is opting to collect Spazer. And no, BFJ. Thankfully, she saved before going to wreck ship, but what a tragic end to that.
Oof. Yeah, I just got a chance to see that. Unfortunately, I'm lagging a couple seconds behind. She did save on the bottom of Red Tower, but unfortunately, she did take it down by getting touched by the tentacle.
That means BFJ will have to go for CWJ again. BFJ for CWJ, and Becky could be making up a lot of time here.
Indeed, she has a very big window of opportunity right now, and she should really use it to the best of her advantage.
Seeing now that Becky is in Norfair, we will see if she does try to go for those dreaded hell runs. You know how those go.
I've had the pleasure of calling 2 runs so far where hell runs have been initiated, and I gotta tell you, they have not been pleasant.
Becky on her 4th energy tank.
Which will help her out very much so in the hell run, in case something bad does happen. Meanwhile, BackForJustice managed to get the CWJ off. It is now back into wreck ship for round 2 with Fantoon, this time with a little bit more energy. So hopefully things will go a little bit better this time. And for Becky, she has now started the hell run. God bless.
Becky taking her time. She's thinking. She knows what this means. Once she goes through that door, there's no turning back. And Hell Run refers to doing the heated rooms without barrier. Usually in hopes of skipping barrier means pretty much skipping Kraid.
Although Crate is an option to use if you want to get that extra energy tank, but WhiteMageBecky opted to go a different route to get 4 energy tanks, which will help, because most people attempt this at 399 and realize that they're not fast enough, which is the unfortunate truth sometimes. But the greatest example of hell runs that do not always end well, if you guys are familiar with the hacks Super Metroid Reimagined or Super Metroid Redesign, they both use hell runs very efficiently. And WhiteMageBecky, if she only had one energy tank, would have made it through with 7 energy. Holy crap, that is the first successful hell run I've seen so far.
Congrats to Becky for making it through. We saw her on the other side. And BFJ defeating Fantoon. So here we'll see BFJ attempting to collect first the wrecked ship super missiles, which are really just close to each other. They're like right across the hall.
Hopefully, RNGesus is going to bless Becky here, because these refill bugs can be the biggest time sink in the universe. She manages to get up to 279 and is attempting to make the run. Will probably get it if she moves fast enough. Meanwhile, BackForJustice gets behind for the first super missile and is now heading back out for the second.
We'll see how Becky fares right now. She's so close.
Oh, she
And
is cutting it.
Hellruns claim another life.
Oh.
Each player both have one death.
Thankfully, though, Becky's not as detrimental as BackForJustice's has been. For Becky, thankfully, she did have a save nearby, and she has a good lead so far, what she's doing. Meanwhile, BackForJustice had a couple failed attempts getting into Rex ship, and then the one death. So, as long as Becky farms up about 400 energy before reattempting this speed run, just in case, she'll be fine getting out of Speed Booster. Meanwhile, BackForJustice still got to be very careful going into bowling here. Only has 127 plus some change in the tank. Even if they do top off, the one mistake they can make is not getting out of that soon enough.
Becky giving it another go, and BackForJustice laying in the arms of Mother Teresa as she carries her down to the treasured suit, the gravity suit.
BackForJustice having a very close call there, ending up with 40 energy getting into Mother Teresa's arms. Meanwhile, WhiteMageBecky going in with 250 plus energy, going to do some speed skating to actually get out of Speed Booster faster this time. She'll be able to top off and get herself a little bit more energy to be able to do what she needs to do. For those that don't know, speed skating happens when you start using Speed Booster in a heated room and you start to speed boost. It counts as you taking damage, so when you take damage, it forces you to stay in this one animation while you do it.
BFJ go for a little recovery, saving at the ship. Always a good move, especially after wrecked ship.
And especially with 35 energy, I mean, she has the defense, but it's still going to add up detrimentally over time if she doesn't get it, healed. Meanwhile, WhiteMageBecky, attempting a gate glitch, gets it off, will be heading down to Crocomire.
Now again, for Becky, she does not have a charge, so she's gonna want to make sure that her aim is on point when aiming, lining up towards Crocomire's mouth, feeding him a couple of explosives. of course, Becky had more than enough ammo, used it wisely.
Very
And
much
she
so.
will be picking up her 5th E-Tank.
Mm-hmm. Becky, now with her 5th E-Tank and Crocomire down, has a slight lead over BackForJustice, who currently just finished Gauntlet, got her 2nd energy tank, and bypassed all the missiles.
Becky growing impatient, waiting for Crocomire to die.
Crocomire finally popping out of his muffin. Charges up a speed boost.
That would have
Does
been a
not
good
have enough time.
recovery.
Was attempting the Shine Spark across the pit. Did not have enough time. Oh, but does an alternative idea using Speed Booster and High Jump to force herself up there. BackForJustice finally scoring a 3rd energy tank.
I'm willing to take a shot in the dark and say that perhaps Becky and BFJ might be doing column 2? Or excuse me, no, Becky doing column 2, but I'm still wondering about what BFJ might be going for. What row BFJ is aiming to do.
At this point, it's anybody's guess.
Oh, interesting strategy for BFJ. And she got, well, the wave gate. Usually only seen in RBO as well. It's a pretty swaggy strat.
Gotta give him credit.
I'm not gonna lie, both of these racers are putting up one amazing race so far. I mean, their playing style is BFJ is as a Super Metroid vet, and Becky just really hanging in there. I mean, she shows that she can hang.
And
Hang
that's one
via
of the
grapple
important
beam.
things.
And BFJ also collecting Spazer. Could potentially be going row 1?
At this point, it's still anybody's guess. They're both going out pretty interesting styles. They're both doing pretty interesting things. The only real lead that BackForJustice has at this moment over Becky is she has Fantoon down. So Becky really needs to get Fantoon down in order to get some stuff rolling, in order to keep BackForJustice on their feet. BackForJustice now storing their 5th energy tank. This will help them out a little bit.
Interestingly enough, Becky going to wreck ship just as PFJ is doing Norfair. They pretty much switched locations.
Yeah, pretty much. At the moment, though, the only real advantage, once again, over Becky, having high jump helps out a lot, and having grapple makes it so she doesn't have to do CWJ, which will help her get across this a little bit quicker. Also, at the same time, BackForJustice does not have to do a heated run because they have gravity. So this will make getting down to Crocomire a little bit easier. Although WhiteMageBecky, even though she does have grapple, does do the Missile Lake Shine Spark. Can't completely do Ocean Fly, but it's good enough to get a start out.
She's doing it all for the presentation, just to put in a good show, and that she has been. Of course, Bubble Mountain strikes again.
Becky opting to turn off Speed Booster and High Jump is going to go the old-fashioned way of Jump City across the lake. Saves herself just barely at the last second from hitting the Ripper and falling into the lake. Very nice job there. Meanwhile, BackForJustice now making their way up to Speed Booster. And BackForJustice now getting Speed Booster. Meanwhile, WhiteMageBecky, I do believe, has just officially collected her 70th missile. And Becky visits the wreck ship map station. This could put her on a good path here. If she continues down with what she's doing, defeats Dragon, that'll put her in a really great position. The only thing she has to worry about is getting 2 more energy tanks, getting gravity, and then getting the super missiles. Then she can head to Mama Turtle's room. So she's really got it figured out already. That's an interesting thought. I did not see that one coming. Out of the gate, WhiteMageBecky having a bit of a slow pattern from Fantoon. Hopefully can make it up in the end. Meanwhile, BackForJustice now getting their 2nd energy reserve. So 2 down, 2 to go. Still has a little bit more to go with too. Just for a quick recap here, BackForJustice still has to get both Meridia tanks, and then in the process, from what they're doing, could have that done.
Becky typically goes for a 3-round Fantoon, 3 to 4 round.
Sometimes it's a better choice to drag it out to 3 instead of 2, so this way you can get yourself just a little bit of buffer energy in case something goes to the wayside when you're starting to climb up the ship.
It's actually a really good point.
And now it's down. So BackForJustice now just needs to get the Meridian Reserve and the Wreck Ship Reserve in order to have that checked off. White Mage Becky just finished Fantoon, so now this is going to give her gravity. So this is going to make her pull ahead just ever so slightly.
BackForJustice might actually try to defeat Crocomire on her way out of Lower Norfair.
Possibility, because remember, she still has to forcibly go get Screw Attack, which can help her and can also destroy her at the same time. So it's a bit of both. Hold on a second. Nope, manages not to get it. Is going for a Lava Spark, attemptively. This will be the first time we actually see it pulled off if it is actually done during this tourney.
Also pretty time consuming if she can't get it in the first couple of tries, because she has to skip high jump boots. She cannot opt for a gravity jump.
And BackForJustice is having a little bit of trouble pulling this off, so this is going to end up being really tight if she can't get this to work real soon. Meanwhile, Becky just got all 10 of the wrecked ship missiles, so that helps her out in a good way. Now she just has to collect gravity, get a couple more energy tanks, defeat Crocomire, which is already done, defeat Dragon, and then get the Mama Turtle's room. BackForJustice is gonna really have to hustle now if she wants to make any sort of hope. Chat bringing up an excellent point. She could do a gravity jump off of a wall jump down there, BackForJustice. She needs to make it work somehow. Not sure how she's going to make it work just yet. Right now, White Mage Becky, rather, once again screwing that one up, has just gotten through the top of wrecked ship, so now she's literally going to be making a lot of time up right now.
BFJ going for the gravity jump.
It's gonna be a risky one. She's gonna have to time this one very good.
It's essentially doing a half lava dive, but and she takes a lot of damage from the Namihe.
That's not something you want to get into really badly. BackForJustice resetting there. Oof. Meanwhile, White Mage Becky makes it across bowling in two jumps, it looks like. Accidentally KO'd through the statue. Thankfully for BackForJustice, they did save, so that did not hinder them too much. But it's the whole fact that really is starting to add up. That whole missing the hole, trying to do the half lava dive there. Looks like BackForJustice might go for the attempt again. We're not sure at the moment. We will see in a moment. Gravity Suit is now in White Mage's Becky's possession.
I feel like it would be in her best interest for BFJ to get the lava spark.
She's been attempting. The Lava Spark has not been cooperative with her. And so far, it's not turning out to be good for her. This might end up being the reason that her run goes down if something bad does not, if something good does not happen anytime soon.
Becky should be done with her missile collection. She just needs the 2 energy tanks.
Honestly, I'm surprised though. Becky not opting for one of the quicker energy tanks to gather in order to get down to Mama Turtle's room, but it looks like she's going to go down and get the 2 Meridio ones, possibly. Never know.
BFJ getting sniped right at the end. She was about to wall jump and taking more damage.
That's the difficult part about trying to do a lava jump like this, is you're always getting sniped. BackForJustice is now resetting again. It seems like her frustration is starting to grow a little bit. I have to admit, at the moment, Becky's routing, as mentioned in the chat already, has been super smart about this from the get-go. She took a couple seconds to think extra about what she was doing, and it's starting to pay off greatly. A good point being brought up by the chat, Cephalon. If Becky does what we think she's gonna do, she will actually do a triple bingo, which is quite amazing so far. I have not realized it till I actually looked at her pattern. She's getting top left to bottom right done already. She has row 4 going for her if she finishes in the turtle room, and she's going to end up collecting both the Meridia energy tanks in the process. This is amazing.
I guess Becky is really just that advanced of a player. I underestimated her, I know that for sure. Nice job, Becky, actually, wow.
BackForJustice is still having trouble with this one room. This is literally becoming the run ender right here for BackForJustice, attempting to do this lava die.
Becky finishing up Super Metroid community's least or maybe favorite bot. Should be picking up her 6th E-Tank here.
WhiteMageBecky stopping to do a little bit of farming, don't blame her. Is she going to pull it off? Nope, is not attempting the full halfie. BackForJustice once again back in the lava room towards Ridley, is deciding what to do next.
And BFJ finally sticking the landing, making
Yes!
it out, and able to finally access Lower Norfair. Good job, BFJ.
There you go, BFJ. Starting to make some progress.
Becky's stream having a little bit of issues. Oh, it's back. It's back, or Becky.
BackForJustice is having, there we go, had a little bit of trouble, does manage to get the green gate glitch. WhiteMageBecky has a couple options open to her. She could Shine Spark Dragon and out of existence, or she could go for Fried Shrimp.
For her to not go for fried shrimp, a little bit of Bubba Gumps would be interesting, and would be a first because she usually goes for the grapple strat. Oh, here we go. Here's her opportunity. Unless she tries to break free.
No, she's fighting it pretty hard. Hold on. Makes the connect and finishes with Fried Shrimp.
Right in that tartar sauce. Look at that. Everyone just dig in. I believe the lore says that the little baby dragons actually eat the mother. I'm not sure. I don't know if anyone can confirm that. Might have just
Well,
been
that only
some
makes
weird
sense.
creepypasta.
I mean, you think about it, some animal cultures are like that, though, so that would be none too surprising, personally. Now, WhiteMageBecky legit has one goal and one goal left in mind. Get that last energy tank, which is in Mama Turtle's room, which will give her both Meridian tanks. We'll give her the finish in Mama Turtle's room, and we'll give her the finish because she has 70 plus missiles. BackForJustice is really, really going to have to hustle to finish this up strong because she still has to do Crockermire. She still has to collect both the Meridian tanks, and she still has to get the two other reserves in order to get anywhere close. Becky is legitimately 2 minutes away from winning this clean.
To be fair, BackForJustice did have a really good route as well. The only thing that set her back was just the deaths and the resets.
The
But
death
again,
and the resets to the lava dive definitely took a majority of what, BackForJustice had for a lead and flushed it for her really, really bad, which gave WhiteMageBecky the opportunity to definitely recover. And once WhiteMageBecky gets this last energy tank, she will achieve a triple bingo in this run, which is amazing.
definitely a record. A lot to celebrate right here, and good game.
Got it.
Congratulations to WhiteMageBecky for completing the dab. She may now hit the dab. And wow, a triple bingo. Give it up.
In an amazing time, within 48 minutes and about 30 seconds to her time clock, she manages to complete bottom, top left to bottom right, row 4 and column 2 all at once with the same plan routing. That is a very, very amazing run. She
That's
really
correct.
needs to consider changing her name to White Sage Becky or Time Sage Becky because she really fired it from all places.
That she did. BackForJustice just taking a little time. Must be trying to plan out Paladin Becky. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Keku. Come on.
I know, right? Seriously, though, definite shout out to both runners for putting up the very best that they could. You know, Back for Justice was really going the strongest direction possible. And then just out of nowhere, WhiteMageBecky, legit taking the best planning she could, managed to make it work so excellently. I do have to say, definitely, Cephalon, that if it wasn't for the fact that she planned out her hell run, it would have been bad news across the board for her.
That is correct, Sacred Hooves. You're right about that because Back for Justice knows her game, and I mean, I still applaud her for going for the strats that she did, taking on Fantoon with a parasuit and then attempting Lava Spark. It's really not an easy feat at all.
Very much so agreed. I mean, Back for Justice did have, a rough start tomorrow. I mean, a rough start during this after getting through Fantoon, and then just towards the end, just started to add up a little bit. WhiteMageBecky managing to not only figure out the best way to do things, but looking at her card, noticing what she had to do, and planned it out perfectly across the way, made it work amazing. Back for Justice, though, also had the same planning going on, was doing so good, but just ended up failing somehow when it came to the Lava Spark. I mean, if it wasn't for that, this race would literally have been neck and neck 5 minutes ago, and anyone could have won. But I do definitely have to say, both ladies both deserve a follow. They both deserve a round of applause. They've earned many, many good drinks for this race.
Get those clappers out. Congratulations again to the both of them.
So just want to remind everybody for tomorrow, as you can see in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, we have tomorrow at 2 p.m. our Metroid Fusion continuation race. That's going to be fun. Metroid Fusion is definitely fun to watch too. But also don't forget to come back at 7 p.m. for our next Super Metroid Dab race. Both of these are going to be freaking amazing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. Ignore me.
It's fine. Well, it's been fun commentating. I got to go take out the raccoons for a walk. But again, it's been a pleasure commentating with you, Sacred Hooves.
Pleasure as well, Cephalon. Hold on one moment, folks. I'll actually pull up the list of who is racing tomorrow. I do know that for our 7 o'clock dab race, it's going to be Ready 5976 versus Kekumen Shoyu. So that's definitely going to be an interesting run. And for the 2 p.m. not Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion race, it looks like Dragon Fangs is going up against Explode Your Ear. So those are going to both have fun. Alrighty, folks. So that's going to do it for us for now. Do come back tomorrow to enjoy us for some more fun action. And as always, see you next mission.
Take care, guys.